Today marks 3 years since the deadly Abbey Gate terror attack that killed 13 American service members in Afghanistan. The U.S. military was securing Kabul's airport perimeter shortly after the Taliban regained control of the capital, helping Americans and eligible Afghans flee during the chaotic withdrawal of all American forces when an ISIS-K suicide bomber detonated a bomb. The blast also killed about 170 Afghans. Today, President Biden released a written statement calling the service members who lost their lives patriots in the highest sense. And former President Trump laid wreaths at Arlington National Cemetery to honor the Abbey Gate 13. He also laid flowers at the grave of Staff Sergeant Christian Knauss, who was the only member of the Army killed during the attack. And Trump also spoke on the phone with my next guest as he did that, Ryan's mom, Paula Knauss Selph. Paula, thank you so much for joining us today as you are remembering your son. And I do want to talk with you about your search for accountability over the bombing. First, though, I do want to just talk to you about your son because you've spoken so beautifully about the kind of person and soldier that Ryan was. And I was just hoping that you could tell us a little bit about him.
Well, first of all, I just wanted you to know that I miss it so much. And his smile was contagious. His ability to think through situations was remarkable. He was truly gifted at what he was doing. And we're so proud of him for what he was willing to do for our country.
Yeah, you noted that he volunteered for that mission. He didn't have to go on it. And I do want to note, you're speaking to us from Fort Liberty in North Carolina because the base held its annual memorial workout in honor of Ryan today. So that's why you were not at Arlington Cemetery and you spoke with President Trump on the phone. Do you mind telling us what he said to you when he called you?
So this morning I was with the troops in Fort Liberty. I'm making my way right now to D.C. to spend some time with Ryan tomorrow. And what Trump said to me is that he was sorry. He was so sorry that all this happened and that it should have never happened. And he's right. It should have never happened.
And Paul, I know for you and many of the other family members of these 13 men and women, family members you've become very close to, that you want accountability. What would that look like to you?
Well, it would be great if the administration would start out by saying, we made a mistake. We made several mistakes. We did not make the best decisions. Instead, this administration has tried to sweep it under the rug, and that's absolutely not going to work for this nation nor this world who watched this live on television. You can't deny what we all knew and saw.
Vice President Harris is now running to be Commander-in-Chief. I wonder, do you have a message for her?
You are with the whole administration in all of this. You hold the same accountability as President Biden does. You were right beside him in making these decisions. And if you say you're not, then what kind of leader are you going to be in the future if you didn't have the same decision making with him on this?
You know, Paula, I wanted to ask you because I've seen now many presidents who struggle to engage with Gold Star families who are angry with them. And yet these are men and women, these service members who died in the service of their country on orders from their commander-in-chief. How do you think that a president should engage with and honor the sacrifice of families like yours, even when, especially when, they don't see eye to eye with you?
Well, when I was eye to eye with President Biden in the White House Oval Office at his invitation, it would have been great if he would have leaned in and gave me a hug at the moment I was weeping in front of him. But he didn't. And so that marks a character issue. And that's what I really am looking for, is better character in the office for our president.
I want to ask you, because there's been a new development when it comes to this congressional investigation into the withdrawal. Jerry Dunleavy, who is a senior investigator for Republicans on the House committee, resigned in protest. He said the committee has failed to interview a number of witnesses from the military and State Department, from the Biden administration, and has helped a number of witnesses avoid accountability. I know that this is a committee that has listened to family like yours. You were able to testify before them. But this is a critic of the Biden withdrawal who is saying that Republicans are not doing enough. Do you think that the committee is doing everything it should?
Well, short of having our president walk away from the office prior to his finish of these 4 years, I think that we have done quite a job of at least making Americans aware of what they already actually knew, and that is the failure of this administration.
You want policy changes. That's one of the three things that you talked about wanting before Congress. What kind of policies are you looking to change, whether this is this incoming administration is Republican or Democrat?
Well, how about we shut down the border around the United States of America? How about we vet those who are coming in illegally or being welcomed in by this administration that are illegal immigrants, that we have no idea, they have not been vetted, and we are now at a crisis in our country from crime, from things that are happening that makes people fearful in our own nation's borders. How about we start with our nation first, giving our nation safety before we run off and do any other foreign policies right now? How about we protect the United States of America?
Paula Knauss Selph, thank you so much for being with us. We do really appreciate your time today, and we're thinking of you, we're thinking of your family, and we're thinking of Ryan. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.